This week on the Spotlight, we talked to a left-handed relief pitcher who has a very firm idea about what he's supposed to do. Sometimes he's pitching to this catcher, Tyler Flowers, who also has a pretty good idea. I saw him studying recently. Michael Jordan, winner of big money from Dominic's back in '96, we talked to him, and then we analyzed the White Sox opportunity. Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. It's the 27th year of the Lansing Floral Sports Spotlight. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You've got to get to the Cove for Benkowski Trivia, Wednesday, September 9th at 8 p.m. Great people, great game. Easy to reach, 1750 East 55th Street, right by the lake. Get to the Cove for my trivia game. The Dirty Sock is a place you need to experience. Alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. Great food, great drink, 93rd and Roberts Road. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. You've got to get to Dr. Sherman Clay, chiropractor. Gentle adjusting. Most insurance accepted. Massage therapy, too. Walk-ins are welcome. Call 773-324-4325. That's HEAL. Dr. Sherman Clay. Calabria Imports has Italian foods and a great deli. You mention this TV ad, and you get a free Joe tea with a sandwich order. Conveniently located at 1905 West 103rd Street, Calabria Imports has great stuff. Check it out. I do all the time. Since 1967, El Jardín has been serving the finest Mexican food. Before, after, during ball games, located conveniently just 3 blocks south of Wrigley Field, 3335 North Clark. Whether there's a game or not, you still get hungry, and El Jardín has great service, great food, and great drinks. I've enjoyed every meal I've had there, and you will too. So get to El Jardín for great Mexican food at 3335 North Clark Street in Chicago. You'll be glad you did. 773-233-7044. They're doing a great job for me. They'll do a great job for you. Family dentist, Lawrence Ferlin. As a left-handed person, I'm always interested, a little extra, in players who are left-handed hitters, left-handed pitchers, left-handed shooters, etc. One of those on the White Sox is Dan Jennings. And we talked to him a little bit about his role, where he's at personally, and a little bit about his background and who he admired growing up. Intriguing answers. So let's catch you up and get you educated on a relatively new White Sox player, relief pitcher Dan Jennings. We're back in the Spotlight. We're talking White Sox baseball, and down to the final 5 weeks or so, trying to get the feel of the club. It's a battle. There's a few teams between you and the team you want to get to. How do you guys look at it?
Basically, our overall goal is always, get to the playoffs and win a World Series. But despite how we finish, we want to finish strong. And if we come up short, then that's life. But it matters a lot how we finish. If we finish strong and we come up short, then it's a lot better than, having a tough last 5 weeks.
A little bit about maybe the last 2 weeks, let's say. There was a stretch where you guys went on a great tear, and people were saying, "Wow, you got it down to like 3 games to the final playoff spot," and then it kind of got away. Can you talk about what happened in these last couple of weeks?
Yeah, that's kind of been the theme all season. We have a strong week or two, and then we fade off a little bit. And basically this game's all about being consistent, and that's every team has something they need to work on, and I think that's something that this team as a whole needs to get better at and look forward to for next year is just have more consistent. You're going to have runs and you're going to have some stretches where you don't play as well, but basically if you keep those stretches where you don't play as well to a minimum and ride those winning streaks as long as you can. That's what successful teams do. So if we can just keep those kind of highs and lows kind of more in the middle, then we can be a successful team.
Tell our viewers a little bit more about yourself growing up, maybe players or teams that you emulated and wanted to be like.
Grew up in Des Moines, Iowa. Spent most of my childhood there, and there's no team within 100 miles of Des Moines, so it's hard to really follow anybody. A lot of people from the Midwest follow the Cubbies because they're on TV a lot all over the Midwest, but I didn't want to be like the norm, and I like to follow teams out west because I was born out west, and I felt like I had some ties there. So as far as players and stuff, I like watching Barry Bonds a lot because that was when he was in his prime. When I was in high school, he was torching everybody. As far as pitchers go, there was a couple I like to follow. Brian Fuentes, because he was a closer and he was one of the only lefty closers in the game at the time. And I thought that was cool because I always wanted to be a closer, and not many teams allow lefties to be a closer because they want them to be kind of, come in and face lefties only, and closers come in no matter what the situation is. So that was cool for me to see him.
Yeah, you bring up you're a person of a new breed that thought in terms of being a closer. Most young kids, they want to be a starting pitcher, and that's pretty unique. When did you ever play multiple roles on a team?
High school I did some relief. I went to a big high school. We had a lot of good players, so I did some relief in high school, and then in college did mostly relief. I think I made like 9 starts my last year in college, but mostly relief. And then came into pro ball as a starter, and then was immediately back into the bullpen my second year. So most of my career has been relief, a lot more relief appearances than starts, and that's kind of how I always viewed myself. And it's worked out, and I've had a lot of fun with it.
Do you think that as the roles shake out on this club, you can be a guy who's the regular 7th or 8th inning guy, as opposed to being targeted toward a couple of left-handers in the lineup?
Yeah, I know a lot of teams a lot of players especially too, are hung up on roles and what they need to do and what they want to do. I've never viewed it like that because I've always been a guy that just kind of, whenever you give me the ball, I'm ready to pitch and get whoever else out. Lefties, righties. Of how I face certain guys or whatnot, I just want to get people out, and I think that's very beneficial for a team, and that's kind of how we have our closer. Outside of that, it's been a lot of go get guys out when the manager needs you to, and that's good for the team because then everybody's ready at all situations and nobody's caught off guard and nobody's trying to do too much or too little.
I know sometimes you guys are in the pen and you're spitting the seeds or kind of being casual 3rd, 4th inning, and then every once in a while, it doesn't happen often in your club, but a starter might get a little rocked, and then you find yourself in a game in the 5th inning. Is that a comfortable spot for you, or do you prefer later in the game?
No, it doesn't matter to me. I make sure around the 4th inning every day I get my stretching in, so that way I'm ready. I want to be ready early because I never know when it's going to be. It might be, earlier than that, and it's been probably only 1 or 2 times in my career I've been caught off guard. And I say caught off guard, and the only reason I say that is because I had to get loose before I actually got stretched. And I've been fine in those situations, and I'm still stretched from right before the game at that point. So just always being ready, always being on your toes, and no matter, just whenever the phone rings, not, have a little anticipation that it might be you.
This clubhouse that maybe you had faced or didn't know too well, and now that you've played alongside him, you said, wow, this guy's even better than I realized. Who would fit that category?
Not a ton of guys in this locker room, just because I was always National League, and a lot of these guys have been here. I faced LaRoche a few times, and he's always been a big bat and a big force for the Nationals when I was with Miami. So he was one of the first guys when I came over here and saw he was here, grabbed him first day and said, hey, I need to watch some video with you, and you need to tell me what you see on me now that we're teammates. And he's a great guy and gracious enough to give me some insight what he might be looking for in those situations, which helps me a lot. So that was good for me and good for him.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. Hope you can do that last tear that makes it interesting in the final couple weeks and see what happens.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Nice to meet you.
Super pressure on the White Sox for a spectacular finish if they think they can make the playoffs. At 59-65 and still 5 games out of the final wild card spot, I project they need to win 88 games to ensure making the playoffs. That means an unbelievably torrid 29-9 finish. Now, they've got some weak sisters to close out. They've got series against Seattle, beatable. Minnesota, must win. KC, got to take 2 out of 3. Cleveland, you could sweep. Minnesota again. Oakland is very bad. Cleveland again. Detroit slumping badly. The Yankees will be very tough. In New York for 4. Kansas City back here. And then a closeout against Detroit. But, God, that's just a demanding and intense number of games to win to finish out, meaning a 10-game winning streak, and you still have to win 2 out of 3 after that. It's doable, and the Sox have shown that capability. But at this point in the year, with everything on the line, it's intensely demanding. And realistically, you have to say it's probably not going to happen. You can root for it. I am. But let's be realistic. We'll be back with more in the Spotlight right after these important messages. You've got to get to Jack's Bar and Grill for Benkowski Trivia every Tuesday at 7 p.m. 3325 Ridge Road in Lansing. Be there. You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212. Kim G. Sherman, psychotherapist, Des Plaines Wellness Center. Therapy for individuals, couples, families. Call 847-962-4849. I've known Kim for over 20 years. She is a true professional, and she will help you. Give her a call. Family Dentist, Lawrence Furlan, DDS, 109th and Kedzie. Crowns, veneers, cleanings, improving your smile. They do a great job. Call 773-233-7044. Excellent work, impeccable. Call the Family Dentist, 773-233-7044. They did a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. Nuevo Leon, for the best Mexican cuisine since 1962. Serving every day from 7 a.m. to midnight. Conveniently located 1515 West 18th Street, just a block east of Ashland in Chicago. Of course, they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a wide range of menu items. Everything from steak, seafood, to breakfast, to chicken, pork, dine-in, carry-out, tacos, enchiladas, everything you can imagine, and great quality at Nuevo Leon, 1515 West 18th. We're back on the Spotlight. We're talking White Sox, and a guy I've known since the moment he came up, and had some really good talks with him over the years, including off mic down in Arizona, Tyler Flowers. And I think it was a situation where he was being sent down to the minors, and I tried to console him, if you will, a conversation that he remembers, and it's certainly a warm conversation each time we talk. He's had kind of an up and down offensive year, but a very solid year behind the plate as a more of a veteran signal caller. He's been splitting time with Gio Soto, and in a way this might help Tyler a little bit. Competition's good for everyone. And we talked to Flowers about 2015. We're back in the Spotlight. We're talking White Sox, and Tyler, the weather's broken. It's true summer, All signs point to everybody busting out at the plate. Is that the general feeling on the team?
Yeah, I kind of feel like we've been pretty close to, becoming a complete unit for a while here, and we put it together a little bit at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
Tough weekend here. We had a couple opportunities to win a couple of those games, and couldn't come up with a big hit. That's how the game goes sometimes. So, the feeling in the clubhouse, everything's positive. I think a lot of us are on the verge of really sustaining some consistent offensive success, and that's something we really need right now because the pitching staff and defense is doing a great job.
I know this is one of the weirdest things standings-wise. I mean, you see your team in last, but you've always been within striking distance of the wild card position, and it's just the American League's really bunched this year.
Yeah, a lot of good teams in it, us included. Like I said, we just got to put it together as a unit. And I think we're getting close. A lot of positive things going on. We just got to be consistent with those things and pick up the offense a little bit, and hopefully go on a little run here and then make it interesting.
For yourself, are you with a microcosm of the team in the sense that you have some big games, you have some big knocks and 500-foot blasts, and then there's a little bit of a downtime? Is that what you're talking about? Consistency, getting hits in every game?
Yeah, amongst all of us. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily hits in every game you're looking for. You hope for that, but the reality is there's so many other factors that go into getting a hit or not. You just look for quality at bats, time in, time out, day in, day out. I think that's something on a personal level I've done a lot better for maybe the last month or so. And like I said, it doesn't always result in a 1 for 4 or a 2 for 3. But it results in keeping the confidence and eager to get out there the next day. And I think that's kind of what we're all trying to get to. All of us have that expectation, and a lot of us are getting pretty close to actually producing that.
Getting on base any way you can really is a key. I know there was a game you guys won. I think it was a 2-1 game, and the person got hit by a pitch, stole second, went to third on infield out, scored on a fly ball, and I thought I said, wow, that's classic small ball, and maybe a little more of that would help too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us are afraid to get hit by a pitch. I kind of look for it. If I get a couple strikes on me, I'm not afraid to take it anywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, anything you got to do to get on base. The top of the order always talks about getting on base for the big guys. But me being typically at the bottom of the order, that's important for me too. Any way I can get on. Get the big guys at the top of the order an opportunity to get some more runs driven in. And I think we've been doing a better job of that, giving them some opportunities. With Eaton and Melky and Sally at the top, they've had some opportunities to drive in some runs.
Well, the funnest topic has to be your starting pitching, and you played a big role in that. You're putting down the right numbers. Who do you feel in the best sync with now, and somehow include a little talk about Chris Sale?
Well, I mean, that would probably be my answer, contrary to his outing the other day. Other than that and maybe one other outing, he's been nothing short of impressive every time out, and he always gives us an opportunity to win. Even in this last start, one of his worst of the year, we still had multiple opportunities to win that ball game, take a lead, make a play, come up with a big hit. We just couldn't do that. But, I mean, the staff's been doing great, especially in this recent stretch. All the guys, Johnny's put together a couple really nice games. Q's been the model of consistency every time out there. Samardzija for the last month or two has really shown some number one stuff, and Sale continues to do his thing, and Rodon's coming along too, developing a nice changeup. I think that's kind of helping him get deeper in the ball games. Have another pitch for hitters to worry about instead of just fastball slider. But all these guys, it's the same recipe. You get strike one, you try and get 2 out of the first 3 for strikes. If you do that, we're going to have a pretty good chance of success.
You're in a unique position because you're part of the hitters and in effect you're part of the pitchers. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're the perfect person to relay a rally cry like, "Hey hitters, these guys have really covered us so much. Let's get some early leads." Can you tell your pals that?
I mean that's the goal of all of us. Yeah, we've had discussions about it. Unfortunately in this game, you can want it all you want. It doesn't necessarily, turn into results per se. I mean you can. Melky to end the game the other day, lines out to third and doubles off Eaton at first. I mean, that's a fluke. That's a great at bat, hard shot, right at a guy, bad luck. I think there's a lot of situations where we can look at, a lot of hard hit balls right at people, kind of tough breaks, and at the same time, there's a lot of situations where we're not getting the job done. We're not putting balls in play. We're not getting the sac fly. We're not getting a guy over. but there's also a lot of positives to take out. I mean, there's a lot of times we do that. The ones that stand out are the times you don't do it. So we just got to keep grinding, you know. Like I said, the pitching's doing a great job. I think offense is starting to come around. It was a tough series this past weekend, but, you know, you move on. You move to a really solid team today in St. Louis, and, you know, we got to put the complete package together to get some wins against them.
But the unique thing is you seem to play your best games against the best teams.
Yeah, I mean, that's all right. I mean, that's what you hope for at the end, you know, to have meaningful games against meaningful opponents. You know, yeah, it does seem to be we rise to the occasion. We don't approach it that way. I think that's just kind of the way it's playing out. But, you know, we're just continuing to believe in each other, and we know this thing's going to turn at some point. We're not all going to struggle offensively all year, you know. So something's going to happen at some point, and hopefully it's sooner rather than later.
Well, I've done the math. Keep winning 2 out of 3. Every single series, you get about 90 wins, and I think you're there.
That sounds good. I mean, you know, a lot of times you look at a series, a 3-game series, that's the goal, win the series, you know, home or road, win the series. It's unrealistic to try and, you know, look at, okay, we got to sweep the next 3 series. You can't look at it that way. You got to approach each day, you know, do the best you can, do what's called for in the situations you're in, and you try and win 2 out of 3 in every series.
Smart thinking. Good luck.
Good to see you.
Thanks a lot.
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alsip, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and their fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388-3700. And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget, the Illinois Lottery, too. That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski.
You know you should get to the Dirty Sock on alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. when I do my trivia game. They have great food, great drink, great people at 93rd and Roberts Road. It's a fun place. I've been going there for years. So start coming out on Thursday nights at least. I'll see you at 8 o'clock. We'll have fun. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Papa Joe's new location, 5900 West 111th Street. Italian beef, tetrazzini, great pizza, Parmesan, ravioli, and more. All my classic choices. New location, and they can still deliver into the city. Get to Papa Joe's. Let's go back to the 1996 finals and the man who just took Dominic's for $9 million.
Well, the first game is always the hardest in a sense. You never really had a good feel. I don't think we had a good feel for this team until the first game. Now we can go back and make adjustments. We see how they're matching up. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to change certain things, but at least we have something to look at and try to get ourselves prepared. Before that, we really didn't have anything to prepare on, and I think the game 1 to win it and know you didn't play great offensively but play great defensively, it's a plus, and hopefully we can build upon this.
It's very important. I felt pretty confident these days, and I was just waiting for one game to come as it happened tonight. I realized that I got to go down a little bit more and post up the guys instead of hoping that my three-point shot's going to go in every game and start with them. So I did go down and I post up at first. After that happened, that I hit 2 3-point shots that opened up the game. From that point, I felt pretty confident.
You use the 8 days to get better physically. Did you use that day off to
those 8 days really helped me to get back into shape, because after being out with the back problem, I didn't really practice, so I lost some of the physical things, and I worked these 8 days pretty much on that and on my shooting.
Well, I think they realized throughout the game that, we're a type of basketball team that continuously build our pressure. And late in the game, our pressure was a big factor. I'm sure they realized that they didn't execute well down the stretch of the game, and that was the turning point.
How important is it for you all not to push the guard? You hit that three-point shot. At that point, you said to yourself, I feel I've got it back. You get the ball. I'm trying to see if I can score more.
He always said that.
That's right, I always say that, especially when I feel confident. It's that's not a thing to feel confident when you hit a few shots. Normally you feel confident. You got to stay in and feel confident when the things are going wrong. That's the big thing. After hitting those shots, I will shoot any ball comes to my hands.
Well, we definitely would like to do better. I mean, I think rebound is definitely the key to wins and losses. And, they were a little bit quicker than we were tonight. They got to the loose balls. We bobbled a few balls around the basket, and they were able to pick them up. But, for the most part, our defense was a big key for us. Even the times when we lost the ball, we was able to get back defensively and not let them have easy baskets. Excuse me, I hear you.
Any extra incentive playing against a team that drafted you and almost traded for you?
No, not really. That's something that really never crosses my mind about playing for Seattle or about being drafted to Seattle. For as the way I look at the situation is how I've been a Chicago Bull my whole career.
I eat on the pasta twice just...
Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria at Grand and Racine is the place to go before United Center Pavilion, Bulls, Hawks, Cubs, and Sox too. Dine in or carry out with great family recipes, including homemade pastas, steaks, seafood, a great fun bar area. Meet people. Have a tremendous time. At Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria, Grand and Racine, you'll find a great variety of foods for you to enjoy at Salerno's. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at Watt 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Oliver's Bar and Grill. Benkowski Trivia is growing. We switched to the 2-show per month format. Thursday, September 3rd and 17th at 7 p.m. Great fun at 6150 West 159th Street in Oak Forest. Fun times, great food, great drink. Oliver's Bar and Grill. Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have, Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place. You better get to Jackie's Hot Dogs, open past midnight 7 days. 2 Polish and fry, $5.69. Gyros plate with big fries, $8.59. Big Baby double cheese, $2.85. Tamales, Italian beef, pizza puff, shakes, chicken breast, onion rings, and more at 5415 South Pulaski. They have it all going on at Jackie's Hot Dogs. I highly recommend it. I eat there periodically. I love it. You should try it too. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound saddle stitch, very competitive pricing. Call 708-396-1010.